Hello everyone, the build that you're seeing right here is the unkillable bonk hammer build. So for the super is the Sunbreaker Titan Solar subclass. And I'm using Hammer of Souls, and then my abilities, you can choose either of your choosings, Tower Barricade or Rally Barricade. Personally, I use Towering. Same thing with the jumping, I prefer Catapult, good for jumping puzzles. And the main use, you're going to use the Throwing Hammer. Preferably, I would use Healing Needs for survivability. And for the aspects, I use Roaring Flames, because if you get ×3, it stacks the solar ability damage, and then it applies Scorch as well. And for the aspect for Solar Invictus, this is more of like a survivability, and you would throw your hammer, you would kill an enemy, a sunspot will come out of the floor, and it would heal you when you're inside of it. And for the fragments, I'm using Ember of Torches, because every time I throw my hammer at an enemy, I become radiant, which increases my damage more. And I want to extend the duration of radiant and restoration for my healing and my bonk. For Ember of Char, your solar ignition spreads Scorch to your affected targets. I put that for my SMG. You'll see that in a bit. Then my final fragment is Ember of Ashes. You apply more Scorch to your targets. This is for my SMG. For the weapons that I'm using is either Wither Horde or a grenade launcher that has blinding, personally, like this one for example, or I don't have blinding on this one, but if you have blinding on ignition code, use that as well. And for the energy weapons, I would mainly use the Callus mini tool because of incandescent. And for the power, I would use either cataclysmic or tractor cannon to debuff the enemy, and you can bonk your hammer with that as well. For the helmet, I've been using the mods is linear fusion rifle ammo finder, just to get ammo, and font of might. For the arms, I've been using impact induction, which every time I hit an enemy with my bonk, it reduces my grenade cooldown. And then overload rounds, just for the SMG, and font of might, which increases my solar weapon damage. For my chest, I've been rocking Ember Diffusion, which gains a small amount of resistance to all elemental damage, and melee well maker. What this does, every time I kill an enemy with my bonk, it drops a melee well. So every time I pick up that melee well, increases my solar damage even more. And for my boots, I'm running recuperation, which every time I pick an orb of power, I get healing on both of the slots, and font of might. You can either put, for the font of might, you could put either bountiful wells, which gives you 2 elemental wells of the same subclass, or well of life if you want to survive even more, which increases your regeneration for a periodic time. And for the class, I use 2 classes, 2 Titan marks. The first mark is an arc mark. So I put Outreach, which reduces melee cooldown when using your class ability. And then I use, this one's like the best one, 1-2 finisher. In the gameplay I'm going to be showing, I accidentally lost my hammer. And what I did was had super energy. So what I did was I finished an enemy and I got my hammer back. Seeking wells, if you would like, if you're too lazy to get your elemental wells, or you can put like Font of Might or Font of Wisdom, which gives your ability steroids on cooldown. The second mark is a stasis mark. For this one, I put Elemental Time Dilation, which increases the duration of the Font of Might. You can put any seasonal mod in this season. I put Weakening Clear because I mostly use grenade launchers, and Advanced Scout, or you can put Utility Kickstart. If you guys would like to try out the build yourself, the dim link will be in the link in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out the gameplay. Hope you enjoy.